Hey guys, welcome to another voiceover tutorial, or actually voiceover paint along slash guide. So welcome to another one of that, and this term I'm gonna be drawing Ahri again because so many different Ahri skins being released by Riot, and actually all of them are quite nice, and this one is of the new KDA series from them of Ahri. And yeah, I'm actually really excited to see the music video. I think they will be making one. Right now they released the song. They haven't really done like the whole music video like they did the first time around. So I'm excited to see that, and also excited to see I think they're gonna be releasing a new champion maybe. I'm not sure, but her name is Seraphine and she looks really cute. So I'm excited to see that as well. Anyways, got my sketch ready and I will be painting this. As always, got the character group, the steps, and the background. Let's see. Okay, and first things first, gotta use the lasso tool, and I will be separating the different elements of the character onto separate layers. So I'm actually doing, as always, a bit of my own pin-up twist on the character design. Actually, the new design isn't as, I guess, in a way flashy. It's more, gives a more sophisticated look to the KDA group. So I'm gonna be kind of adding a bit of a pin-up-y twist to the design. So got the torso and the arm. Everything on separate layers, the elements that I think it'll be easier to handle if they were separate layers. And then I have the arm here. 2, 3. Actually, there we go. And then we have, oh, hold on, let me just name this. The head layer. I'm gonna zoom in here. I think I'll be putting the ears on a separate layer. For the head layer, I'm gonna be highlighting her head with a bit of hair. Most likely the hair that's overlapping on her shoulder. So that's the head layer. And then we get the ears. Gonna be on a separate layer so that it's easier to edit or actually work on. Edit, work on later. And last but not least, hair layer. Oh yeah, and the tail layer too actually. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Oh, hold on. Missed this. Oh, actually, no, it's okay. There. And then the tail. And her tail is the iconic crystal diamond-esque tail. That will be fun to do again. I think I had a bit of trouble trying to figure out a way to render the tail, but I think I'm getting a hang of it for this tutorial. So there we have it. I blocked everything onto their own layer. And actually for the sleeve, she's got puffy sleeve. I'm gonna try something after. But yeah. And for the background, I'm thinking something similar to the first KDA piece that I've done, which is having like intense background, or actually intense backstage light. So I'm gonna go ahead, go into color dodge, and oh, hold on, maybe liner, color dodge, and I'm just gonna make some lights. Go with the color dodge, and then increase the intensity a bit. So let's try with this. Oh, whoops. Have a bit up here, and then up here. We'll see how that goes. I might end up changing it again later, but because I'm not sure. Usually I'm more probably change it later on. We'll see. Anyways, if I do decide to change the background, I will let you guys know how I did it. Probably gonna be a bunch of photo collages again anyways. Okay, put the liner on multiply. So now I'm ready to go ahead and block in the character. Usually I prefer to block in the skin tone first. So gonna aim for a mid-tone beige. Not highlight nor is it shadow. And then I'm gonna go ahead and block in the elements of her outfit. Her outfit doesn't actually look like this. Way more, less, more cover, but gonna make it into a bit of a more revealing outfit with some lace designs. But this is gonna be the first layer, which usually I like to stick with a mid-tone. Mid-tone, not highlight nor shadow, and then I would put the highlight / shadow afterwards. So going on ahead and start shading it in with a bit of shadow. So I'm gonna go ahead, put that a bit dark near certain areas. Reverse. Gonna go ahead and also do that to the skin tone. So I'm gonna go for, I'm trying to figure out what light source, so definitely gonna aim for the light source from above. And I'm gonna have the shadow of her head casting on her chest type deal here. Maybe like that. And then highlight here, shadow here, and same goes for the waist. They got shadow and then highlight here and here. So I'm going to unselect. So there's quite a bit of detail I haven't put on the outfit yet, but I will be adding that on later on. Right now I'm going to use lasso tool to help me create a more layer on more shadow. So I'm gonna go ahead, add a bit more shadow, especially on the chest. I always paint Ahri super busty, you guys know that. Okay, and down here too, near the armpit area, always a bit more shadowy. And then we have, then have the more highlight areas, maybe a little here and there. Oh, actually here too. And just going to make it bright. So after here, add a bit of what's it called? Just a bit of warm tone, lighter tone inside the shadow area, just to kind of soften it up a bit. Don't want to make it too intense. Sometimes it's nice to ease it in with a secondary color, you know what I mean? Same for here. And then adding a bit more highlight here. Okay. And now for the head. Since I already pretty much have a basic color palette on the skin tone, on the torso itself, I don't have to think too much about the color for the face. So for the face, I'm gonna go ahead, have it most of her face in shadow, a bit of highlight coming from underneath here, so the light coming from her torso area is casted on top of her face. And since most of her face is in shadow, I'm gonna have a nice prominent light source coming from below here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and let me check. Okay. And then select the hair portion. And of course she is blonding this design. Ahri is consistently kind of blonding the KDA design, while the other girls have slightly different hair colors, which I find quite interesting. Maybe she just looks really good on here. I'm gonna go for a dull yellow, like that, and a bit of a brighter yellow. And I'm going to be putting highlight underneath. Like that. And then I'm gonna go for a pretty bright color. And I'm gonna go ahead and highlight the other side of her hair. Like that. Now go back to the hair layer. Just going to fill that in real quick with that color. And then go ahead and highlight it or shade it. And the inside portion of our hair, inside portion of our hair is pink. So just gonna quickly put the pink color in there, and it does frame her hairstyle quite nicely. Onto the ear layer, so I'm just going to quickly use the color of her hair that's already there. Just going to kind of brush it over real quick. And inside her ear is pink. I will be elaborating on that later on, but for now I will just simply put a bit of that color on the inner part of the ear. So there we go. Arms now. So her arm does have a lace design. Right now I'm going to be painting her arm without any covering, and then I will layer on the lace design afterwards. So we're gonna go from the base to the detail later. So yeah. And for her hand, yes, it's a very spicy gesture, but that's so me. That's very me. Kind of always trying to make it inappropriate, pretty much. So we have the hand, kind of highlight it roughly. So that's what I have for Ahri. I feel like the background definitely needs work. I'll probably find a picture and come back to this because I will have to finish. I'm gonna have to work on the background first before working on the tail because the tail's translucent. Anyways, I will be right back, guys. Alright guys, we're back. So I'm gonna show you guys, I did try to pretty up the background a bit. Oh, hold on. There we go. Okay, so we have the background without anything on it, which to be honest might actually work. I added a bit of light with this photo that I once again grabbed from Adobe stock. I put it on lighten, and then another photo I grabbed from Adobe stock. But I was trying to go for kind of like an iridescent diamond-ish type of feel, and then I guess I didn't like that, so I darkened up the whole piece with filter, brightness, contrast that you can grab right here, brightness, contrast. So I click that and it popped this up for me, and I double click on it and then play around with the sliders. And last but not least, another overlay. This is a diamond photo I grabbed from Adobe stock, and I put it on liner dodge, which gives a really cool effect, and you can experiment with different layer effects. But yeah, I just ended up liking liner dodge the best, so yeah, there we have it. And I'm not sure, I might end up changing the background later on, but for now I think let's try to work with this. So I'm gonna lower the lines for the sketch, and I'm gonna start off by doing a bit of a refining for the top. So I'm gonna zoom in here, and it's always recommended to kind of start off your piece with a big canvas. So the trick to this is if you feel the need to zoom in after it is already at 100%, then your canvas is too small. So if you zoom in, just never zoom in, make your canvas bigger, and that's how it should be, because I think it's better to have a bigger canvas than to work on a small canvas and then you feel the need to zoom in. So I suppose in that way there's no real good answer to how big you should paint. You should paint based on how comfortable you are, and I usually prefer to paint at least 3K pixels, at least minimum. And if I ever feel the need to zoom in, I make the canvas bigger from that point. And yeah, I think that's a pretty good rule to follow by. Anyways, so I am working on the detail for her lace outfit. It's actually quite detailed here, just looking at the design itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and do kind of line it, baseline that, fill that back in, and oh, hold on, supposed to have a ridge here like this, and then it goes smooth like that. I'm using the lasso tool to help me kind of just block in the areas that needs to be blocked in for this step here. There we go. Another one. And one more. So after I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and Also gonna go for full on black, and I'm going to line this now. Everything's a little messy, and after I do that, I'm gonna go in to put highlight on the ridge. Just it's pretty much what I observed from the design. Actually, there's a bit more to it than that. It's gonna take some time to render, I think, but basically a bit more shadow around the ridge design, and we have a bit of detailing here. Okay, I'm probably gonna do a bit of my own little thing here, so first just going to select a bit of the edge for the color there, add a bit of highlight, and then actually there's a, I'm gonna go ahead and do a bit of design here, so I'm gonna start out with that, and then after do a little frilly design here, fill that in, and then go with the highlight on a bit of highlight on some of these areas to form a bit of highlight, and then going back with a darker color and going back in here with that same highlight that was right there, and just do a little tiny detail. The original design, this thing goes all the way down, but since, you know, I like to paint a nice cleavage, so I'm gonna show that off, of course. So yeah, and I'm just gonna shade her chest, and now it's just about shading and refining. So I'm gonna select that area, shade that up, have a nice bit of what's it called, a silhouette of between her arm and armpit, and I'm just going to softly blend that in. So actually block the layer so that I may work on the elbow. So for the elbow, I'm gonna select a bit of a pinky shade, bring it down, and then select that area. I don't want to paint over that, so making sure it's nice and secured. And I'm going to take a bit of that and then add it here to the armpit area. It's so hard to find the right vocabulary for this. Okay, and then just kind of highlight that shoulder blade bone there. Okay, and I'm gonna select a bit of the fabric. I'm going to actually, I'm gonna use a bit of beige. I'm gonna add a bit of beige to the black fabric, like that, and blend it in, and use a bit of that dark color, and kind of just do a little bit of a, what's it called, a pulling effect on the fabric there with a bit of line work. Make sure it's nice and clean, and then going and select the silhouette of the cleavage. I'm gonna use a bit of this color and make it a tad cooler, like that. I'm going to select that part, blend those together. Blend, blend, blend. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Okay. Now, can go over here and do the same. Just casually blending it in. I might change the color a bit later. And for here as well, so I'm going to remove the hand and going to select the chest there and just blend, and add a bit of what's it called now? Squeeze marking, I guess. Just adding a little shadow around some of these areas to make the chest look like it's interacting with the fabric. I'm gonna go ahead, add a bit more shadow. Hold on. I want to make sure the shadow is a little more, what's it called, darker. Well, for now, okay, and going back here, blend that area, go ahead and kind of add a bit of shadow to that area, but need to kind of make it a little more subtle. But apparently I decided to go a little too ham on that. Gonna have to soften that up. It's a bit too much. I'm gonna select this type of shape and make it a little sharper for the shadow area. Select a bit of the skin tone, add it to the very edge here, and just going to kind of blend that in, highlight, and then some more shadow lines. So kind of blending the highlight in with the shadow, bring it all the way up. Okay, this part is a bit thick compared to that part, so what I can do is copy, paste, and then warp this part a little closer, or a little thinner, like that part right there, merge down. So this is what we have. And then back to here. So for this part, oh, hold on. Just going to select that area here. Oh, sorry, I wasn't saying anything, but sorry. So basically, just kind of a blending stuff in with the hardness 21%. It's kind of like airbrush, but just with a bit of hardness to it, so it's not overly soft. And now I'm just shaping it. Just kind of play around with this. So I was testing out a bit of wrinkling in the middle, and then I thought maybe it was a bit much, so I kind of painted over that. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of testing with this. I'm gonna go ahead and select the rest of the top here, lock down the layer, a bit of blue to this. And then I'm gonna bring that highlight down here a bit. Bring a bit of the blue here. And take a bit of the skin tone and put it under like that. It just creates a bit of softness to the shading and also reflecting off of the surrounding elements of the clothing, which is the skin. Usually it makes the piece look a little better in terms of color. At least that's what I think, and I've been doing that a lot. There we go. And I'm going to kind of remove the shadow in the middle here. Gonna go ahead and add a bit of shadow to that part. This a little darker. And after I do that, I'm gonna go ahead, start giving the top a little volume by adding some highlight slash shadow to the edge of the silhouette I've selected. It just gives the clothing a bit of volume, or a bit of thickness. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do add some detailing. The original is definitely not like this. I always have to make it, you know, more realistic. Out to see if it would look better if I added the shadow on this side of the line. Actually, yes, I believe it does look a little better, so I'm gonna do that. Gonna select this right here, this color, and I'm going to subtly kind of blending it slightly on the other side of the line for the other side of the shirt or the top. Select this color right here. Oh, hold on. Hardness 0, and then I'm gonna subtly blend that side too. At the same time, making sure the nice underlight of a beige color is there. Just going to go ahead and still have it there, and even making that a bit more obvious, and then going back with the line, the seam for the top there. Okay, and now I'm gonna make a little bit of wrinkling on the top. And making sure to blend the highlight in while I'm at it. Okay, so the highlight here is not blue enough, so it looks out of place. I'm just going to make it a bit more blue like that. So this is what I have for the top. Okay. Oh, I forgot to add a little bit of... Oh, hold on. I have the inverse selection again. Why is it not doing it? Oh, that's what color. Okay, there we go. Gonna go ahead, add a little bit of shadow on the other side. especially near the pressure points at the top. And going in to clean up some of these areas. So it's just adding a bit more shadow. And then cleaning up the other darker area there. Okay, now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this area up a bit more, and then going onto the other shoulder here, and I'm gonna go ahead and select that arm. Hold on, just trying to get a nice clean selection here. There we go, I got it. So now it's onto the other side. I'm gonna go ahead, add the little poof, the arm and the armpit poof. I guess I'm calling it the poof. And using a darker color shadow to really emphasize the armpit slash arm being tucked behind. And after that, it's just about adding a bit of shadow where the shoulder is. I might also go in here and add the shadow, do a little continuation of the shadow in the fabric as well. But first, get that done. The anatomy is continuing through to the clothing, so it's nice and consistent. There we go. Okay. Now that that's done, I'm gonna have to flip it real quick just to make sure the top isn't weird. Okay, so flipped. This is what it's looking like. It's a little bit crooked on that. A little crooked, but I will fix that with Liquify. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring this down a bit and bring this side up a bit so that it's nice and even. There we go. Okay, now that's a little bit more even. I'm going to go down here and complete the top render. Down here with some more little wrinkles, maybe one or two using that beigey light highlight color that I've been using. Highlight, shadow, and highlight to form this type of wrinkle shadow or shading. Yeah, yes, wrinkle shading. And you can even bring it over a bit here. Maybe have a tiny bit of it here, but not too much. I'm gonna select a bit of that skin tone. Probably do a little bit of add a tiny bit of detail to the top here. I'm gonna add a little lapel detail here. And I can probably also add a bit of lacing detail later on. So for now, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm now gonna select the waist area here and make sure that area is nice and sharp and clean. Softening into that. And here I'm going to add a teensy bit of highlight. And then gradually fade into the shadow that we have. Now for here, select the other side. Lock it down, and then just kind of add a bit of highlight there, and then shadow on the bottom. This is going to be a little bit of a squish on the hips. Use a slight bit of a darker color and gradually gonna blend the highlight of the hips, and just going to blend that in, and I'm going to go ahead and I guess I could indicate her belly button a bit. That's what we have. I'm going to lock that down, and I'm going to add a bit of design here. So I can see that there's definitely lace detailing. So what I can do is make this area then transparent and then add the lace detailing in. For a lace texture, or I can do my own. So she's got like some flower-esque lace detailing on the top. Just gonna go ahead and do that on both sides. So this part is basically just adding some additional details. This part, usually I would do it a little bit after, but sometimes I also work on it as I go along. There we go. And I would need another, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and use a bit of a brighter color and just kind of highlight the outer edge of the top real quick, and then we will use a bit of a lace texture afterwards, but I'll do that later. For now, I'm gonna try to work on the piece as a whole. I'm gonna go ahead and align these little ridges because they're gonna need space to play around with, adding highlight in a thicker silhouette I've highlighted. And just go ahead, add the highlight, extend it all the way up, and then there's also some secondary detail, I think, like these. alternatively, another way of doing this would be to render off two sections and just kind of use that and duplicate those throughout. Okay, but I didn't do that. Okay, I'm gonna create another layer and just going to go ahead and create a little bit of a ruffling detail. And I'm not filling that up 100%. Using some small lines to create a bit of texture. Duplicate it, paste it onto another layer, and put it on the other side. Just a fast way of adding some small little details. And then, of course, back to this part, starting off, lined it with highlight on top. And then I'm just gonna clean up the neck area now. Lock that down. Bit of highlight on this side, so I'm just adding a bit of highlight on that side of the neck, and then a bit more shadow throughout. Okay, so this is what we're gonna have. Now gonna work on that, the arm. To clean that up a bit, and for the arm, add the shadow in. But of course the arm is covered in lace, so guess we're gonna have to do a bit of detail work here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a bit of aligning. It's quite detailed, that the design they put on her arm. So I'm gonna go for something like this. Let's see here. So adding some little flower motifs, and then darken it a little. For this arm, I'm just gonna wait for a bit, and for these areas, I'm gonna go ahead and start adding a bit of that secondary highlight in the shaded areas. Okay, unlock. There, clean that up. Okay, so these areas, I'm going to add a tiny bit of a blue in there. There we go. Now for the face, oh yeah, arm too. Gonna work on the face a bit now. As for the tail, I'm going to, actually I'll work on the tail later. For the face, zoom in here. Just going to copy the lines for the face, make it multiply, merge down here. So I already have a base going now, and start off with whites of the eyes, and then going in with the eyeliner and the eyebrows. All these could definitely change later on as I render. So for now, I just roughly give the face some features on the shadows on the features. Oh, hold on. And the nose. So we got the highlight on the bottom, shadow on top. And then for the lips, whites of the teeth, and for the iconic Ahri eyes. Gotta make sure her eyes are properly done. I usually like to paint her eyes with a this type of look with her double eyelid very close to her eyes. That's how I prefer it. And lower lid, and then the eyeball. So she has very fluorescent turquoise eyes. I'm gonna go for a dark blue base for now, and then I will see how bright I can make her eyes, because realistically I cannot go too crazy, but we will see. Gotta experiment. I'm going to paint her it's called a face marking afterwards, her foxy whiskers after. I'm gonna go ahead and add shadow on that side, I mean highlight on this side. Up here on her forehead, I'm going to add a little bit of gray. And then have the warmer color on towards the bottom. Let's go with this color for shadow. And then for the eyes, oh god, hold on. I'm going to kind of remove that a bit. Copy the eyes. Make them a little closer to each other. Reshape the eyebrows a bit. Add some shadow underneath the chin there. So now I'm just kind of doing a little bit of cleaning now. Sorry, I'm a little quiet. I'm gonna zoom in here. I'm gonna reduce the amount of shadow on her eyelid, trying to not make it super obvious, because I do want her to have that look, that Asian look, so I have to make sure it still has that classic Ahri look. There, maybe a little bit of I'm going to... Oh, she has iridescent eyeshadow, so let's go for a darker color on the side there. Line her eyes with a reddish eyeshadow. I'm gonna copy her eyes and just going to edit this. And then here. In with a bit of a turquoisey color here. And then give her the iris. Let's clean up the eye, near the edge of the eyes, make it nice and clean. There we go. And just going to probably redo the shadow for the lips here. Go for more of a pink tone. Pink tone. Bring it up. And softening her eyebrows. And the hair too. Okay, now I'm just going to make a bit of definition for the hair. So we're gonna have to kind of sort of blend this in. Hold on. So she's got hair pinned like that. And then it goes down like that. There we go. And continue to shape the base. Okay. Yeah, this looks a little better. I'm going to copy the whole face. Just make it a little bigger, like that. Before and after. Okay. Man, I'm thinking, guys. I'm gonna see if I can find a haircut, a photo haircut, and see if I can kind of like fit that texture up here, because this part is gonna be hard to render. So I will be right back. Okay, I got some photos here that I think hopefully will match the type of hairstyle that I'm trying to aim for. So particularly I'm interested in this part right here. Okay, let's see if I can put that, incorporate it in here. So I'm just going to place it near where I need it. After that, I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the color. Bring it, make it a bit more, erase this part, the hairline, a bit more in here. Okay, so I'm going to need to do some more editing. So I selected that part. Oh wait. Brightness contrast, make it a little darker. Going back in here actually with this brush. And go ahead and paint over that. So yeah, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, maybe maybe this part isn't a good idea. Maybe I bring it over here like that. And increase the hair and make it kind of overlap her face a bit more like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna make another layer, merge it down. Oh wait, merge down and increase the volume of the hair and just paint over that texture and just continue to kind of refine, add some more shadow along the way. And of course this area I'm gonna have to paint over, make sure that paint over that part of the hair and make sure that it is done a little cleaner like that. There. So we have the watermark. Gonna have to paint over that. So if you're planning to use something like that, like a photo texture, you gotta make sure not to use it as it is. I have to transform it enough that it's not recognizable from what it's supposed to be. So oftentimes you won't have to pay for texture if you are only using a portion of it and you're gonna paint over it. It should definitely not be like very obvious that what you use is from that source, is what I'm saying. If you are ending up using the texture a bit more and it's gonna look like what it used to be, then you will have to pay for it. Okay, just gonna clean up that cleaning up and refining pretty much using a smaller brush, and then we have a part here for the hair. Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little shadow there. And just bring it down. Actually, should I use? I also have this. Probably use that part of her hair. Lower the opacity. Saturation down and lightness down. Make it a little brighter. There. So actually I don't I'm not sure if okay, maybe I'll use it for the hairline. That's it, like that part. But I kind of like the shadow of that photo texture. I can definitely use that, so just darkening up that up, and then darken up the hairline. It's a bit too bright. The photo itself is a bit too bright. I didn't edit it properly, so it doesn't fit, but I did kind of like the color that I got out of that texture, so at least that was something. Okay, so I think I'm gonna use this part here and use that as the hairline texture for this side of things. As you can see, you can always use something. Okay, bring it up a bit. Alright guys, I flipped it. So I'm gonna have to skew the face a little bit afterwards. But for now, I am going to work on the haircut. Use a darker color to darken the part where the hair is laying on the skin. And I think maybe the part is a bit too raised there. I'll probably tone that down a little as well afterwards. Gonna go ahead, add a bit of highlight there. Let's go ahead and refine that area. Just cleaning up. I'm going to bring a bit of hair down. Let's go ahead and pick a darker color, sorry, and making sure that I separate the individual hair batches. Pretty much use the lasso tool again, select another bit of the hair and separate them by the shadow. Subtly paint. Okay, I think over here should be okay for now. Back to this side. This side definitely needs work. I'm going to be merging everything down now so that I can skew the face a bit. And also I'm going to hold on. Let me just fix the face bit pretty much. Just going to change the shape a bit. Lock that down, lock in the layer, and then shadow on that side. So just going to, oh, hold on. shade that side and gradually also clean up the lines, the sketch lines. I suppose if I had the sketch on a separate layer, I wouldn't have to do this. But I guess I chose to do this. Now I have to clean it up. And now for the eyes, it is not, I want the eyes to be a bit more center, like she's looking at the audience, so just kind of change the position of the eyes basically. Back to cleaning up the eyes and the eyebrows. Let's bring it, actually hold on, clean up the upper side of the eyebrows. So I'm still on a separate layer, which is good. Always good to kind of edit on a separate layer. Just gonna work on the nose. Just going to softly blend the nose in. Refine the nose a bit. I'm also going to kind of blend in the eye area and the nose area. So this part is gonna be light. Take a bit of this. Adding a bit of highlight to those areas. Probably gonna reduce this. Okay, and gonna have to move the eyes apart just a tad. And then refine the lips a bit. Gonna go ahead, add a bit of shadow. Here, I'm going to refine the bottom eyelid a bit, clean it up pretty much. Clean this side, and then add some eyelashes here at the very edge. Also gonna clean up the inside of the eyes. Needs to be a bit more blue. There. Okay. Hold on. Okay, let's bring the eyes back. There. And gonna take the whole face, copy, paste, Control T, and lock it down. Okay. Going to make the lips a little thinner. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. Before, after. I kind of like before. Okay, what I'll do is copy, paste before, and then put it on the after. Yes. Okay. Gonna use a bit of a blue. I'm just going to add that into the shine of her, the eyeshadow that she has on. And her eyes still looking a little not at the audience, so I'll change that as well a little later. Bring this. Take that eye. Bring it like that. No, wait. So I'm just kind of going back and forth and resizing the eyes. Add a bit of shadow there. Bring the lower lid up a bit. Go ahead, see if I can add a bit of glossiness to her lips. I might actually remove that. It's not always a good look, so yeah, might be a bit much. Lowering the eyelid, the upper eyelid too. Add a bit more shine to the eyelid. That make her eyelid a bit more prominent. This one needs to be a bit bigger. Yes, like that. And I'm gonna copy the inside of the eyes, make them a little brighter. After I do that, I'm going in with eyelashes, bring them down. Just gonna get a killer makeup look. And a bit of eyeshadow underneath her eyes. select the hair part, or the hair area of the face. We're gonna put shadow there now. Just gonna go in and paint a bit of shadow in those areas. Just gonna select a slightly darker shade. Now, quite. Okay, this might be a bit too dark. There. Now I'm gonna create a new layer. Gonna go with this color, a grayish color, and I'm gonna go ahead and highlight her nose. Not too much to highlight, just gonna softly blend it in here. Add a tiny bit of highlight near the lip area. And a bit of highlight on the lip itself, so I'm gonna choose a bit of a pinky shade here. Followed by highlight underneath the lip. Let's go with this color. Paint it underneath her other lip. Go down here with this highlight. Highlight the chin. I will have to bring this back a bit, so remove a bit of that highlight. Don't want to make her chin like super prominent. I don't think that's a part that oh god, it makes her chin a bit too long. Have to reduce that. Okay, maybe her chin is just a bit too long. I might resize her chin a bit. Go ahead and make it a little brighter. That's before. After. Let me reduce her makeup look a bit. Erase a bit of that makeup look. I'm gonna bring it down. Going back to liquefy and bring up her chin. And also making her face a little thinner. See how that looks. Getting there. Actually, I think this area should also have a bit of highlight. And go ahead and add a tiny bit of blush to her face on that side. Use a bit of this color, a bit of gray. Emphasizing it a bit. Okay, hopefully her chin doesn't look too big. Let me just rotate this. Okay, that's not bad. Her eyes needs to be readjusted to a bit more towards the audience though. But I'm actually pretty happy with the progress of this. Not bad, not bad. Look, her eyes is looking not at the audience. I'm gonna have to readjust her eyes. Just copying her eye and readjusting it. I think maybe the, oh, hold on. This side needs to be, yes, a little bit over. And then I can take my time to refine this a bit more. But yeah, this is what we have so far. And I have to refine. Okay, just looking at it a bit and thinking about stuff, how to improve and stuff. Okay. I'm gonna see about reducing the part here, bring it down a bit. Okay, I think this looks a little better. And after that, I just have to readjust and refine everything. Going to bring the hair down, the highlight down, and I'm just going to continue the hair rendering for this part. Let's go ahead and render this hair part laying on her cleavage. There's always room for, always good opportunity for long hair laying on top of cleavages. It's always a good little detail. Okay, just looking back and forth. I can also use the lasso tool to help me create different hair badges. And after I do that, go back in to render it out a bit more. You can keep doing this until you're satisfied. Let's do a bit more. Also, just kind of make this part a little darker, and then have a bit more of a highlight near the bottom. I'm thinking maybe this part should be darker. Add a tiny bit of highlight on that area. Let's lock that down. There we go. Okay. Zoom out. Oh, hold on. Continue on with rendering the hair. Now onto this bigger chunk of hair. Using some brush stroke, I'm just going to create a little bit of a rough hair texture. There we go. And onto this side, actually, I think I did it in reverse. I'm supposed to have it on this side. I mean, the shadow on that side, invert, and then have the highlight on the other side. There we go. And just going to keep going. Bring up the hair a bit. Or actually, I have to kind of wrap it around a little, covering the frill there. After I finish the batch, I can go ahead and add some random strands hanging, pretty much, which actually helps with the whole hair look. I mean, hair textures and stuff. It gives a more natural look to the hair. Okay, just going to select those areas. And then bring it up. Bring the texture up. So near this point it's quite overexposed, so I'm not gonna put too much texture, just gonna indicate a tiny bit of it with a darker line, just a tiny bit darker, like that. Okay, on to the next thing. Let's work on the ears a little. Also, I might have to, hold on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the area with the face. Control, oops, copy, shift. And then I'm going to duplicate the head layer and I'm gonna play around with the color of the hair because I think her hair is more of a bleach blonde, platinum blonde, so in my version it's more of a, what's it called, more of a yellow blonde, so I have to make sure her hair is more platinum blonde, so I'm just kind of editing the color of her hair. Just going to erase a tiny bit of that. And also, I'm going to just erase a little bit of that. Okay, now onto the ears. So, ears, I will be taking the color of the hair and just putting that. Using that on the head. There we go. And then using a brighter color now. And use a brighter pink on the inner area of the ear. Another way for painting ears is by using a bit of photo texture. But I think for this one I can just kind of paint it manually since there's not a lot of ear showing, so I can do that. Gonna include a little bit of a darker color, going into edit. I already have this on, so basically smudge tool with this and setting dynamic, I have this on. This is the options, and strength 95%. This is the result of this. I can turn it down just a tad as well. And with this, I can create somewhat of a fluffy look. I can also do that to the edge. Lock down. Back to painting manually now. Go ahead and just kind of blend the ear in. Okay, next, going for this. So same thing, just going to use the hair color. Before that, what I'm gonna do is actually make sure the pink is there first. And then I'm gonna take my smudge tool and then smudge over it like that. I'm also going to smudge out a bit for that extra fluffy silhouette. Block that in. And then have a little bit of a highlight on the outer rim. I'm gonna go ahead and add some little details in the ear, and then after, just going to go ahead and create a little silhouette for the fluff using that smudge tool. There, now we have a fluffy ears. Gonna kind of fix the other side a bit. There we go. Block or lock. Take that color. There. Okay, her ears look very fluffy. Okay. Now that that's done, going into the hair layer, and I'm gonna do some work here with that. Again, just gonna create some hair texture using lines. So alterating between darker and lighter lines. Now for this side, actually I should have already started to add a bit of blue on the other side of the hair. I'm just going to go ahead and add that. So once I add this, I'm gonna be able to soften the look a bit and also add the blue on this side too. So there we go, and it makes things look a little softer. So now that I have that done, I'm gonna be able to add that blue highlight on the other side of the hair, and I also can indicate some random strands of the silhouette like that, nice and soft, and going in here. Not too much work to be done, pretty much, because since it's all covered up, but I can go ahead and add a bit of just a little bit of blending. Okay, time rotate. Gonna flip the image. Okay, everything still looks acceptable. Now I'm going to work on the hand a bit. So just going to start working on. Oh, hold on. Start working on this arm. Let's go ahead, add a little bit of highlight here. Remove that part, and then I'm gonna go ahead and try to work on that little motif on her lace arm band thingy. It's gonna take a little bit, just making some flower-esque patterns, and then darken them. Just gonna keep it simple and clean up the rest. And I believe that, she's got like a armband here, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then give the armband a little bit of a shading. Add a bit of highlight on the side here. Okay, now, you can't really see it with the hand and all, but well, this is what we have. Okay, and then for the hand, I'm gonna go ahead, use a darker color. Gonna sketch out the fingers. Okay, that finger might be a bit too far, but sketching out the fingers. And also indicate, actually highlight the shaded part too. The little knuckles. Actually, let's make this part darker, and then have this part being lighter. And of course, I have to. Oh, hold on. Press R to rotate so that I can have an easier time of painting this hand in this angle. Okay, and then go ahead and do the nails. Drive is acting real weird when it gets like that, when the pressure goes off and on. I hate it when that happens. Okay, the hand, kind of like that. And then increase the, just fixing the shape a bit here. Knuckle, knuckle, knuckle. Going in with the airbrush. And just darken the individual fingers so I can refine it properly. Okay, now for this finger. Probably gonna have to bring this finger a little bit. Hold on. Maybe, yeah. Change it, change the direction of it. And just kind of blend that finger in. Oh, hold on. And of course, the thumb. And shade them both. Just clean up the shading for the finger here. Okay, lock that in. Add a bit of shadow. Hold on. There. Now for this part. Lock that down. I'm gonna go ahead and use a brighter color. And just cleaning up the nails. Okay, and then cleaning up the fingers. Pretty much just zoom in a bit more and blending stuff. Gonna add a bit of shadow to this side of the finger. And just blend it in. I'm going to add a bit of this color, more of a grayish tone. Like that. And then I'm going to add a bit of a warm tone to the tip of the finger. At the same time, I'm gonna clean some of these areas up. Okay. Cleaning. Oh my gosh, I deleted this part. I'm gonna put it back. Now for the thumbnail. Wow, okay. Just gonna shade it, paint that in, and then paint a bit of shine on that nail, locking the finger. The shape there. And there we have it. The hand is done. But of course it is not the end of that. I will have to paint the shadow underneath the hand so that it feels like the hand is interacting with the rest of the body. So I'm gonna go ahead and start painting in some, to call the reaction of the hand. Just going to add a bit of highlight there. Shine there, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of that skin tone and add it there, and we have this shadow here. Same for this finger. I have a bit of highlight there. On the chest too. Get a bit of shadow there. And now it feels more like the hand is on top of the character. Add a bit more shadow. And same for the hair, I will have to do that as well. But for now, this is the shadow for the hand. Okay, now that I have that done, onto the hair. Actually, I feel like I kind of want to change the flow of the hair. Kind of want to make hair tuck go underneath the finger there. Like that. Hold on, where is? Oh, okay. That's why. Maybe I put it underneath. So I have the hair tucked in, and then have the hair like, or maybe I should have the hair over the finger. Actually, maybe have the hair, oh, hold on. Have the hair on the end. Go over the finger like that. And make it long. Hold on. Make it a long batch of hair. kind of. I'm also gonna have a bit of the hair tucked in underneath the finger. Like that. And just have the rest all the way down. And of course, we're gonna have a bit of shadow on the finger. Going back to the head layer, add a bit of shadow underneath the hair. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it conveys what I want it to convey. Just going to darken this a bit. Actually, lighten it a bit like that. Okay, now onto the hair layer. So, gonna go here. And I think I'm gonna bring this back a little. Here we go. Gonna lock that in. Zoom out. Zoom in. Add the smaller details of the hair, of the rim light on the hair. Have some individual strands as silhouette. Have them a little all over the place. Okay. And I'm gonna go for a darker color. Okay, go down here, work on the hair a bit. Select this batch of hair. Gonna make it a little darker. There we go. And just keep going with that. Gonna go with some shadow separating the hair patch. And I think that will do. And onto this side, again using colors already there. Bring this down using a kind of a small brush. I'm just going to create these type of hair-like strands. Maybe I'm gonna have actually use this color. Have some strands, one-off strands here and there. I'm gonna have to zoom out for this. Have a little bit overlapping. Something like that. And pretty much that's it. And there we have it. I'm gonna see if I, oh hold on. Going to adjustment. Just going to do a little contrast. Now after I do that, over here is a bit too much. I'm just going to lighten it. Actually, maybe I'll just select this part to go into hue saturation. this is what we have. And last but not least, working on that tail. So I kind of learned from last time. I think what we can do is use the polygon tool. So I'm just gonna go ahead, do a little random shape. Oh gosh, maybe not that shape. Do a random shape. Okay, we'll go with this for now. Actually, let me see if I can. Hold on. Oh. I want to make sure the tail is. The shape of the tail is done properly. So I'm gonna go ahead, add a little tip to the tail. So, like that. Somewhat like that. There. Oh no, wait, no. Okay, there. I think. Okay. So lock that in. Let's go ahead and start creating these type of geometric shapes. And I'm not really doing this in any pattern or anything. It's just very random. And after that, I'm going to brighten it, inverse, darken, and then unlock, and I'm going to kind of erase the inside of the tail a bit. And I'll probably be using a texture after this, but for now, I'm gonna go ahead and select a bunch of other random shape, except this time I'm gonna have to think about how to connect these shapes. Just making sure that it kind of matches up to the other side, and then do a little bit of this. What's this called? Adding a bit of a purple tone. Going back here. Gonna make it bright. Same with this area. After that, I'm going to, oh god, shape it a bit. Okay, maybe we will probably need to tone this down a bit. Oh, hold on. The tail isn't really coming through all that much, actually. Maybe if I make it a little like this. I'm going to darken that. And instead of, hold on, let me just, first of all, let me just cut that tip off. Paste. Paste. And have the tip like going this way or something. And then of course I have to readjust the lighting. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Again, we're gonna go back to the lasso tool. Why do I have this brush? And going back with that. I'm gonna have to make all this area darker. And okay, right now it's a little messy. And re-add the shapes. So adding the shapes in, it's kind of hard to explain, but basically just kind of making these sharp line shapes. I'm gonna add a bit of this type of color. And then back to this color. There we go, and add another highlight. Gonna have to make it quite dark. Make it real dark, and then I'm gonna erase what's inside. And let me just take a look at the background. I'm gonna remove the disco ball. There. Now it won't be as confusing. And okay. Not so sure about the background. If I remove that part. Actually, maybe if I keep this for the tail. Yeah, like that. Okay, that works. And then for the background, for the background, I have to look into another alternative, maybe something like this. Hold on. Maybe just this color. And have to make sure the color here matches. Not really into this color, but just kind of test it out. Well, maybe I will have this. Let's see. Just kind of testing out to see, like, okay, maybe like that. Just testing out to see what type of composition will look better. Okay. I mean, it's not bad. I think I will go with that. And with this on the tail, remove that watermark. Okay, now create another layer. I'm gonna go ahead and add some more little geometric shape. So I'm always connecting them by the tip, pretty much. Let's go back to normal. Like that. That is the rule to follow by connect by the tip. Maybe have a bit of it here. And another one here, all by the tip. I'm gonna create a little shine on that one. Maybe add this one here and there. And then another one there. And another one here. And another one here. All by the tip. And just going to go ahead and do a very, very small bit of brush through for that. Let's go with purple. Actually, wait. Let's go with a little bit of purple and maybe a bit of yellow, maybe. And then darken it. Yeah, I think so. Like that. Okay, some more details. Gotta put a bit more detail onto the tail. Gonna do another geometric shape on these, on the outer edge of the tail. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make a bit of it here too. And one more here. Oh, hold on. Let's do pink this time. So, gonna go with pink and yellow. Let's go with pink on this side. And white. Okay. And let's go for one more here. So for there, I'm gonna just go with this color. Oh, no. Nope. Undo. Okay. Redo. Okay, so that's what we're gonna have. Now, I'm just going to add some tiny sparkles in there, actually. Also, gonna have a bit of reflection from Ahri on the tail. So just gonna have a little bit of her hair color and maybe ear color as well. Bit of it here and here, so grab a little bit of it here and there. Same with that area, so we're gonna get a bit of reflection coming from the ear. So once again, just using the hair color. And gonna go for a darker color for this one. See how that, nope, does not work. Instead, gonna go ahead and use the dark color here. There. Okay, I think it's starting to get there. So yeah, this is what I have. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna save this for a rainy day, merge down, and then merge down. So we have the tail like that. I'm going to go ahead and oh, no wait. duplicate, adjustment, make it really bright. Let's go with a line art. Blending, and then turn this down. Play around with this. There we go. Oh, hold on. We constrained it down by pressing Alt. Merge down. And there we have the tail. Phew, that was something. I'm going to return this layer down to the background. Kind of debating on where to put it. Let's put it there. Oh, wait, no. Rotate it. Okay. Well. Okay. I think it looks better if it's dark like that. Looks kind of cool. But we'll see. I might change my mind again, as always. I can play around with the mode. Okay. Oh. I don't know. I'll see. We'll see. Okay. Now I'm going to add the additional details for the outfit. So we have the poofy sleeve part. I was thinking maybe I could give her like sheer sleeves. I kind of saw that on an outfit, so I thought maybe that would be a cool idea or something. So pretty much the sleeve was completely sheer. Actually, it looks pretty cool. I might go with this idea after all. I'm gonna remove the head for now so I can see properly. And I'm just going to go ahead. Hold on. Oh, okay. Yes, like that. Use the lasso tool to help me create a bit of shadow. At the edge. Okay. And I guess I'll be using a bit of highlight and adding some highlight to the sheer material. Hopefully it works. Not sure. And have a bit of it up here. Gonna go ahead and draw the seam. Okay, maybe this doesn't work too well. Let me lock that down and make it all dark. I think it has to be all dark. And then erase a bit of it. And again here, gonna have to redo that. Let's try with highlight. No, the highlight does not look good. Okay, I guess we'll keep going with the dark outer silhouette for this. Okay, I'm just gonna go for this and just clean it up. also gonna do the same again for that part, and I'm gonna go ahead and shade up the tip of the silhouette first, and then fill it and use dark lines. Gonna add the ripples now. And I can also do that to the rest of this part, but I don't think it needs to be super detailed because it is a darker fabric and I feel like I could probably hide the little details in that. I'm just going to go ahead, same with what I did there, just gonna paint on a bit of lines. Like that. And I can also do it to here on that side. Let's see how that'll look. That's very detailed. It's getting detailed now. Looking very gothic. Hold on, let's not do that. Okay, so I have the first part here, and then we gotta have the bow. So now I'm gonna paint the bow now. Double. There's two. Oh wait, no it's not. It's just the normal bow. I thought it was a double bow. Okay. Just gonna work on that silhouette first. And then after the silhouette, I fill that in. And I'm gonna use the color that's already there to help me create the bow. And another bit here, highlight that is. Highlight up that side of the bow. There we go. So this is a very rough render of the bow. You can definitely be a little more detail on this. Let me just increase the silhouette a bit. There we go. Okay, so I think that's that. I wonder if I should... Oh yeah, I was gonna add some more little details like this. So I'm gonna add that on both sides. Fill it in with a thin layer of a black shade, and then going into the very end of each frill to line them. And last but not least, we're gonna go for the lines, just some dark lines near each loop of the frills. There we go. And maybe also up here, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna leave it as it is. Actually, should I? Maybe I'll have a... Nah. I don't think I will. Okay, so this is what I have. yeah, I'm also gonna give her a hair clip. And it's supposed to be on that side. Rotate. On this side. So her hair clip is triangle like this. Fill that in. Lock that in. I'm going to render out the shape of the hair clip. So render that out first, and it has yellow gem or something in there. Render that out. And I'm not sure what the design here is, but I see somewhat of a shape here. And then it goes like this. So that is the shape of her hair clip. And of course, after that, go back in for that additional detail, render that out, add a bit of shine, etc. And then copy. I'm gonna have to put them a bit more. Okay, they are standing out a bit on her hair, so I'm gonna add a more of a shade to kind of reduce that amount of it's conflicting a little. So after the hair clip, make another layer on the bottom, and this layer I'm going to go in and add a bit of paint over the hair a bit to add some stress point to where the hair is tucked behind the hair clip, so it doesn't feel too much like it doesn't make no sense, like the hair clip is floating on her hair. So we're gonna have to add a bit of shadow and some signs of where the hair is being pulled by the hair clip, and this is done with mostly line work and a bit of blending that line work in. So I'm sticking with very thin line work and focusing on where the hair clip is pretty much, and with that it looks like her hair is being tucked by the hair clip. I'm going to merge that in, and last but not least, we have the Ahri's little face marking, which is iconic Ahri, right? So it starts with pink and then it ends with turquoise. I'm gonna try to make it a little darker though. Maybe not that dark, maybe like lighten it a bit. Then copy, duplicate layer, flip horizontally, and I'm gonna put it on the other side of her face. For that side though, I'm gonna darken it a bit so it looks a bit more visible. And there we have it. Ta-da! What do you guys think? Oh, actually, there's a few things I could do as well, actually. for example, the hair needs some shadow. Oh wait, what is this? Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna be adding the shadow on there. The shadow of the hair. And also, there should be a bit of shadow here too. And here. As well as underneath. Where is the bow? That's the bow. Okay. That's the bow. So for sure under the bow there will need to be shadow. I'm just going to lower that opacity wise. But yeah, this is what we have. It's not too bad. I can always probably gonna go in and add some more details, but this is a pretty good base, I think. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully it was helpful, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about composition real quick because I did get a question on that. Composition of this piece, if I were to actually, before I do that, I need to refine the tail tip a bit, because right now it is not very visible. So I'm just gonna copy, Control-Shift-Copy, which copies the whole layer, every layer together, and Control-Shift-V to paste. And after that, just going to darken it, lock it, and then I'm gonna see. Oh, actually, maybe it looks better like this. Okay, I'm gonna keep it like this. I'm just gonna color it a light color. The tip, I mean. Yeah, I think that should do. And also, hold on. I think I might have to move the tail a little under, like this. Okay. As for the hand, hold on. For the hand, I'm gonna copy, paste, and lighten this side of the hand and make it quite bright. Merge down. Okay. And then for this side of the body, I'm gonna do the same. Shade this part, these parts, like that. I think that looks a lot better. Go down here to the belly button now with this super warm shadow shade. I think I was gonna end the tutorial and then I was like, hold on, let me just work on it a little. And add some more details. So I layered on a bit of highlighting the very edge of that area to create this belly button. There's many ways of painting belly button. I've been painting belly button a lot this way. But yeah, there we hope you guys enjoyed that. I will see you guys in the next voice. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention composition. For this composition, I really try to frame her as best as I can by framing her with the tail. So I had the tail go behind her, right, like that. And also the tail, I made sure the tail kind of curved to her head and go around her, and I made sure that the tail is not over her ears so that her ears can pop out, which is something that I try to do when it comes to silhouette for characters. And also this right here frames her ear partners as well. And also you can see that in this composition there's not a lot of empty space, so everywhere is kind of filled. There's something going on everywhere, which is typically what I try to do. I don't think that this type of composition is a must. There's a lot of artists prefer it more minimal. I like to make everything busy, so that is my composition. I like to keep everywhere kind of like busy. But anyways, I hope you guys I hope it was kind of helpful. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next voiceover tutorial / paint along. And if you guys have any questions or stuff like that, let me know and I will try to cover it in the next one. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day or night, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, guys. Bye bye.